Hello, Lucy. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session. I know we are jumping in early in terms of time, so I'll make sure that it's more interesting because now that we have some extra time, I'm assuming. So, is that right? Like, or are we still sticking to my 30 minutes?
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You can complete your presentation. Yes.
Okay, that'll be great. All right, let me share my screen and then we'll talk over there. Okay, Lucy, could you confirm you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, we see your slides. Yes.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning for someone who's in the West Coast. Welcome to the session on integration of business objects with Power BI. And this is going to be a demo, and I'm going to show you some additional methods of how this integration works if you have to do natively within business objects. Now, before we get into the product itself, we're showing different ways of integrating business objects in Power BI. We want to touch base on our business objects coexistence that we preach to our customers. Now, as some of you already who've been using both tools, like majority of the companies now have business objects and Tableau within the organization, right? What we have been noticing within our customer base is that more than the percentage of using business objects with Tableau, we see that increase in percentage every week that people are trying out Power BI visualizations because Power BI Desktop is free, and then a lot of companies are in partnership with Microsoft, where they have the Azure portal access, so they try out different things. And initially, it was about 10% of our customers using business objects in Power BI, but that number has been increasing, and slowly it's been catching up to the number that's been used with Tableau as well. And what we notice in all the combinations of using Tableau or Power BI is that these two tools are great for data visualizations or self-service data discovery. You want to figure out something really quick. You want to show something in a visualization in an easy to access way. They're great, but they're not the best solution for enterprise reporting. You can't do the level of detail that you get from the Webby report or a pixel perfect report that you get in a Crystal report within a Power BI or a Tableau dashboard. Although in Tableau and Power BI, there's like other ways that you can build reporting similar to how you do SSRS or like a Tableau cross-tab reporting. It's not exactly the same that you do within the web intelligence part. So what we suggest our customers here is that, BO customers especially, you have a strong foothold in a universe development, your web intelligence report. Now keep your web intelligence for reporting. Leverage all your universes and the Webby as validated data sources for Power BI or Tableau. And in this demo here, I'm specifically going to talk about how you could leverage your universe investment in Power BI and using Webby into Tableau as well. Now, natively, if you think about how do I integrate Power BI with business objects, there are 5 different ways that you can do it. And here are the 5 listed ways that you can do. The first one is like the export to Excel. You can export a Webby report, or you can run a universe query in Webby, export the data into Excel, and then you can use that Excel as a data source within Power BI. That is something that you can do with any visualization tool or in any other BI tool. But it is error prone. You have to have a manual process, meaning even though you can schedule it, you're having it as an Excel file. It's not the exact native integration that your business would appreciate. Now, the second method that you see here is exporting queries from your Webby query panel. Now you can open your web intelligence, and then there's a view script button in the query panel. You click on it, you will get a SQL query that's coming from your universe. You can copy paste that query, create an ODBC connection, and connect to Power BI natively as well. But it's still not the same, because when something changes in your universe, how are you going to manually update these SQL queries? So that's not the best method or the recommended method in that case. It's not your single version of truth. You're copy pasting the queries in multiple locations. And the third method is skipping business objects completely, where you can replicate that same universe logic connecting to the database or data warehouse directly, right? You can bring in a bunch of tables, and then you can start building the connections within Power BI and start creating visualizations. Now, the fourth method is like reverse engineering the universe logic, right? You can open your universe, you see what are the actual tables in your data foundation, open the same tables, bring it into the Power Query editor or the Power BI data modeler, and then you can create the joins in some fashion. Now, although 70 to 80% of the universe logic can be replicated in the data model within Power BI, you still can't achieve the level of complexity such as context, universe prompts, or universe list of values those things are not easily replicated into the Power Query data model. And plus, you have to have data residing in like two places because now you have the universe semantic layer and you're replicating the logic within the Power Query editor as well. Now, our fifth method is what I'm going to show today is to use a third-party native integration tool. In this case, it's going to be InfoBurst. And I'm going to show you like how you can skip the first four methods and then have a simple, easy to access way of using your business objects data sources into Power BI natively itself. So if you have universes, right, in some cases, when you have a Power BI developer within your company, your Power BI developer might not even know what a universe is. Right? They can be like, someone who's fresh out of college who's learned Power BI or Tableau, and they're great at visualization, and they need a data source for them to start into creating a dashboard. So it's hard for them to go through a universe training and know what a universe is. But with our tool, you can tell them, okay, here is a tool called InfoBurst, and then we can have BusinessObjects Universes. You select the objects that you need, and then you push it as a data set to Power BI, and you can start building Power BI dashboards. So we have a direct access to the BusinessObjects universe from Power BI itself. Now, the second method is about the web intelligence. Now, you would have invested a lot more effort in creating your web intelligence report, creating the formulas, all the different date calculations, the formatting that you have done in Webby. You don't want to recreate all the logic that you have done in web intelligence in Power BI again. It's hard for you to open a particular formula editor, check what the formula is, and then learn what is called as a DAX language in Power BI to create your own formulas. How about using the same formulas and data that you have in web intelligence and pushing it natively into the Power BI data set? That's where InfoBurst shines. You have a data set, you select the data set, whatever you need, or the universe query, and push it as a Power BI data set. And that offers real single version of truth, and it's easier for data governance when you use that tool itself. Without further ado, I'm going to jump into the demo itself, and then you'll have a lot more questions when you see what we have within our product of leveraging universes and web intelligence directly. Okay, so the screen that I have here is our InfoBurst UI. Now, InfoBurst is on a server instance, and we can connect to Tableau, Power BI, and BusinessObjects with a single instance of InfoBurst. So it's a web-based UI, and it has its own repository. So right here in the system, and some of you here who are already InfoBurst customers, you know that you can distribute BusinessObjects content into multiple commodity formats such as PDF, Excel, PNG image, deliver to a network folder, deliver to a SharePoint, deliver an email. That's what our core product does. Like what InfoBurst does is report distribution. Now we have expanded our product portfolio of distributing the reports to Tableau server, and now we are including Power BI as well as a delivery or a destination. So here into the new platform menu, now you will notice that InfoBurst connects to Tableau and Power BI as well, and we have SSRS integration as well. So most probably, if you're Power BI, you might be looking into SQL Server reporting services as well. So if you're looking into our product, you have an option to burst SSRS reports and connect your BusinessObjects reports to Power BI. So that would be a great addition for someone who's already using SSRS. So here I have like my BusinessObjects servers. I can connect to multiple BO servers, my dev, QA, prod. I can connect to multiple Tableau servers, and I can connect to multiple Power BI servers or Power BI workspaces, in other words. So here I'm going to go into one of my empty folders. So let me go into East Coast, and then under the new workflow option, these are the different workflows that we offer. Now we are interested specifically in Power BI. So I'm selecting Power BI, and then here I have, okay, what are the things that you need to do via InfoBurst to Power BI? You can either have a web intelligence report pushed to Power BI. You can have a universe query where you select the objects from the universe and you can push it to Power BI. You can even have a native SQL query. InfoBurst can schedule and run SQL queries, any ODBC compliant database. It can be HANA, it can be Snowflake or Redshift, SQL Server, Oracle, which are native connections. We can pull data from any database, execute it, and we push it to Power BI as well. And if you have multiple Excel files residing on your SharePoint or any network folder, we can take that and distribute to Power BI as well as a data set. So I'm going to show the universe to Power BI data set first. So I come here and I select universe to Power BI. Now, based on the system settings that I had, it filters my BusinessObjects servers because this is universe. Universe exists only in the BusinessObjects server. So these are the two BOs platforms that I have access to. And then I click on continue. The process that I have here is exactly same as you creating a web intelligence report. So I have a list of UNX universes and the UNV universes listed together. So we are not restricted just to the IDT type universes. You can connect to the older UNV universes as well. So here I come in and I select one of my UNX universes. I click on continue. And then now whatever you see here is the folder hierarchy that you create in the information design tool. So I select my customer state, customer city, and then I go into my product group. Then let's say I need product name, but I don't need like the weight, cost. So I'm checking the items that I don't need. And I'm going to need a few measures for my dashboard. So I'm going to select number of products, number of orders, and I'm selecting revenue as well. Now, before even I get this data set to Power BI, maybe I want to preview the data set so that I can check whether the data is correct or is SQL query correct. So I can click on preview, and now I get a preview of the universe query itself. Okay, looks good. This is the data set that I need for the dashboard. So I click on close. And what if I want to restrict the data set? What if I want to set up a query filter where I need the data only for the customer state is California, maybe. So I go to query filters, and then I can select customer state equal to, and then I can go California. This is an option. Now, if you have universe filters or the predefined filters that you have created, the filters will automatically show up here. And all I have to do is just select this filter. So I'll skip the filter section for now, but you get the idea on how we can move the filter section. If I have any universe prompts, it'll automatically go to the prompt section, and I can select list of values and apply the values here as well. This is where it gets really easy for someone who is new with Power BI and they don't know much about business objects. They can come in here, select the objects that they need for the dashboard, click on continue, and it automatically has my Power BI platform because we selected universe to Power BI. And people who are familiar with Power BI, you know that Power BI has multiple workspaces. So I can come in here, click on the folder icon, it'll go to my Power BI platform, and I have a workspace that I've created for InfoBurst. So I select this, and as a native InfoBurst feature, we can have a customized file name using our macro builder. So I'm going to select my macro, and then I'll call this East Coast Power BI Universe. And I click on apply field value, I click on continue, and then it gives an option for me to schedule as well, where if I want this to be scheduled every 5 days or every daily, maybe I need this daily, I can select like Monday to Friday, I need this like 9 a.m. every day, I can set up a schedule directly as well. For now, I'm going to skip on the scheduling part. We have an extensive scheduler within InfoBurst, which can be event-driven as well, which you can use. I'm going to click on save and continue and click on run now. So the process here itself is that now InfoBurst is logging on to BusinessObjects with the username password that I have within the system. It opens up the universe, it runs the universe query, executes, gets the data, it converts it into a PBIX file, the format that Power BI would understand in terms of a data set, and it uploads natively to Power BI itself. So now I can go to my Power BI Azure portal, or I can open from Power BI Desktop. So I go here, and then I click on Power BI datasets. It has my Azure portal connection embedded into desktop. So I go here and I'll search this East Coast, and then I have my East Coast Power BI universe query. I click on it, click create, and whatever you see here on the field section will be the same objects that we selected from the universe itself. So I'm going to select field map, and I'll select customer state, revenue, and then I can start building a dashboard right away. Okay, maybe I want to add like a filter, so I can come here and then select like a filter option. Then I'll do product group. Under the orientation, I'll select general, horizontal, and I'll do filter. So now it's like a quick and dirty dashboard. As and when I click, you notice that the dashboard is changing. So this data set is coming from your universe query directly into Power BI portal. Now, if I go into my Power BI Azure portal, here, BI.microsoft.com, and then here, if I go into my workspace, you would notice that you'll have the same exact query. So here are the different workspaces. I go into the InfoBurst workspace that I have shared. And then if I go to my data set and data flows, do my refresh, East Coast Power BI Universe query right away. Now, the exact same workflow, if I need a web intelligence report, say I have a webby report of this format. And I have a standard web intelligence report, and this web intelligence report has a lot of formulas and variables that I've created. And I don't want to recreate all the logic in the Power BI side like that. So here is like a webby report, then I have like a detailed report as well. Maybe I want to push this webby data set because I've already curated the data. Maybe that will be a better set for the Power BI dashboard. I can go into my InfoBurst portal, different flows, and same way I'm going to create a new workflow. Power BI, just to filter it, I'm going to select webby to Power BI. And here I have a BusinessObjects platform, which is selected. I click on continue, and the folder structure that you see here is the public folders structures that you see in the BI Launchpad itself. So I'm going to select the webby report that I just showed you. So I'm going to go into my folder, customer demos, demo summary landscape, click on continue. This webby report has a prompt. So I have like an option to enter the LOV values, or I can click on LOV and retrieve the latest list of values from the report itself. That way I can select the states that I need. I can leave it open because it's an optional prompt as well. So I'm going to click on continue. Same way, Power BI InfoSol, click on InfoBurst, select this, and I'll call this and then I need the summary or details. Maybe I'll go with the details page. I'm going to select the details. I can also select the data provider. Data provider is the query that gets from the universe itself, or I can select the report tab that's needed. I'm going to select details and then click on continue. I'm not going to schedule this, save and continue, and then I do it run now. Exact same process, but instead of running a universe query, we are going to open the webby report, refresh the webby instance, get the latest data, and we just need one tab of webby report because I selected only one, and then it exports that data into Power BI server directly. So now I go to my Power BI desktop, and I'll do file new. Let me create a new one. In the meanwhile, I'm going to publish this as well. So I'm going to publish this. Save it. Folders. Reverse. Okay, I'm going to publish in the same workspace. You can select, and then I have this published. Now I'm going to go into this new one and select the Power BI data set. And I'll get to the same page where I can select my Power BI data service. So I'm going to search for East Coast. And then I have my East Coast webby Power BI option. So I'm going to click on create. Let's create a different type of chart with the data set. And you'll notice that in the fields section here, now you have a lot more fields. These are from the web intelligence reports. So I'm going to select maybe this one, and then I'll do product group, revenue, and I'll keep it simple, bar chart. And I'm going to publish this as well. So I'll call this maybe and then it'll open up the workspace. I'm selecting InfoBurst as my workspace. Click on select. Now I have both of my dashboards published to my Azure portal. So I go to content, and then I have like two different dashboards. Like one is the Debbie East Coast, and then the other one is the Universe East Coast. Now, you might ask a question like, okay, that's great. I have like two data sets and I have like two dashboards. What if I want to have like multiple data sets in the same dashboard? Or in other words, I want to have a universe, I want to have a Webby, we want to have a SQL data set and a Webby data provider. How can we combine everything into a Power BI dashboard itself? Now, Power BI has a concept called as the dashboard, where you can bring in multiple reports. So whatever I created and published is called as a report in Power BI language, and you can bring everything into a dashboard itself. So I click on dashboard, and I'll call this expose dashboard. And create. Now the dashboard is created, and then it'll be like an empty dashboard over here. So I have to go back to my InfoBurst panel, and then I'll go to content. Yep, so I have the Webby East Coast over here. So I'm going to click and open this. And then you have an option to pin a particular report to a dashboard. So here I have pinned to a dashboard option. So I click on this, and then it'll open up the East Coast dashboard that we have. So I'm going to do in live. And similarly, I go to my InfoBurst workspace again. Then I'll go to content, refreshed. Then I'm going to open my Universe East Coast. Go to the three dots over here. I'm going to do pin to a dashboard. And then it opened up the East Coast. So I'm going to go in live. Okay. So now I go to this particular. So if I go to the dashboard itself, so I go to content. East Coast dashboard. You notice that my first page has the Webby report, and then my second page has the Universe report directly into this. Now, additionally, since we have the data sets directly, so you can ask a question saying that, I can give like my top 5 products by revenue. And I'll get my products per hour. I'll get that chart automatically within the Power BI. Now, I didn't create this data set because you notice that I brought in only the product group into the dashboard itself. Now, Power BI creates a visualization on the fly with the characters that you type in the Ask Q&A section. So I can change this number to like, maybe my top 10 or 500. Top 10 products by revenue, right? So it automatically fill it. Similarly, I can change like the top 10 states by revenue. When I search it. Isn't that quite simple that you have a universe, you have created a Webby report, getting that data as quickly as you need to the Power BI portal, and then you can get into this self-service discovery mode. Plus, you can utilize your Webby reports for all the other reporting needs that you have. And with InfoBurst, what additionally that you gain here is we have the concept of report bursting into, you can distribute a Webby report into PDF or Excel. So when I come here and then I create what is called as a burst, and then I can create something like burst, click on save, I'll go to items, and then maybe I'll add a particular Webby report that we have. So I can add a delivery here and say that, okay, I need a PDF for this delivery. So here is a network share, and then deliver a PDF into that. Now I can simply copy this, and then I go here and I call this Power BI delivery. And then I'm going to select my Power BI server as the option, and then it's automatically a Power BI data set. I'm selecting the details, exact same thing. And then I'm selecting the workspace that I need. And then I click on save, and then I can deliver the exact same report as a PDF to a network drive, as a Power BI data set to Power BI. And additionally, if you have Tableau, I can come here and then say, okay, click here, and then I can change this to say Tableau server, and then push it natively to Tableau as well. I know our focus was not on the Tableau, but I'm just showing if you're already having InfoBurst, how can you leverage your scheduling needs, like whatever you have as a burst, and then push the same content to Power BI and Tableau as well. So that's how you can leverage this entire PBI add-on, plus the report delivery or distributing your reports in different commodity formats in general. Any questions on this so far? Maybe then I'll talk about the benefits toward the end of the demo itself.
Yeah, hey Rajesh, there's been a few questions. So InfoBurst to SharePoint, is that in-house SharePoint or SharePoint on Office 365 using the Power BI?
Yes, so it's the exact same method that we are connecting to Office 365. So to go over the connections on Power BI, we will be using Azure AD as authentication. So you have to get the application ID and the secret from your Power BI administrator, and we connect to Power BI exactly the same way that we connect to SharePoint.
Okay, but for distribution, you can push out to SharePoint in-house or SharePoint on Office 365?
As of now, we have distribution only to Power BI Azure Portal, but we can distribute it to Office 365 as well. We have restricted now.
So sorry, just to clarify, you can push out to Office 365, yes?
Yeah,
okay.
we can. Yeah, we don't have it at this point, but yes, we can do it. Right now, we are focusing more on having like a native integration to Power BI as your data set. So you can do that sometime in the future, I would say.
Okay. And then when connecting through Webby, it brings the latest Webby instance, or does it refresh from the database automatically, or is that an option?
Got it. Okay. Great question. So you have both options. By default, it's going to refresh the Webby, get the latest data from your database, and then push it to Power BI. But you do have a setting where you can disable the refresh within InfoBurst, because maybe you already have a schedule set up and everything. So you can disable that as well. So you have both options within the burst.
Okay. All right. I'll let you wrap up.
So I want to talk about a couple of the benefits itself. So as you know, as a tool within InfoBurst, now you have your entire business objects suite that can be leveraged in Tableau, Power BI, and you can combine content where you can take a Webby report output and a Tableau dashboard output, combine it into a single PDF. So this is what our product is in a nutshell. Now, what benefits you're going to get with the Power BI integration is that you can schedule your Webby as well and then push it in other content, as well as Power BI, like the last part of the demo that I showed. And then you can dynamically refresh the Power BI data sets, your universes, and you can pull data into PBI from like other data sets as well. But additionally, with the scheduling features itself, like, you know, if you want to have like an event-based scheduling, or if you want to leverage a part where, okay, once my ETL load is complete, only then I want this data to be available in a Power BI dashboard. That sort of a scheduling can also be done within InfoBurst. And you somehow get the Webby calculated fields converted into Power BI. You have to learn the DAX language. Rather, you can leverage all your calculated fields and everything that you have within Webby and then push it directly. And same with universes as well. This is all to achieve the single version of truth. That way, the data doesn't reside in multiple locations. You don't have to create redundancy within your data. And everything stays in the same universe logic that you built. And you make a change in the universe, it propagates not only to BusinessObjects reports, but also to Power BI or Tableau in that case. So these are some of the key features which our customers love using Tableau. And then now we are releasing this Power BI as well. So if you're having a hybrid kind of a BI solution with Power BI, Tableau, and BusinessObjects, I think InfoBurst would be a great fit for you in proceeding with your BI needs. So that's about the demo itself, but if there's any specific questions or anything, I'm here to answer.
There was another question that came in. Is there a way to check the user credentials for the Power BI, or is it just the user who sets up the burst?
So we are not using a user account for the Power BI. We're using ID, which is like a higher level where you push a data set to Power BI. So we don't have any connection with a username within Power BI. A user is attached to the workspace within Power BI, in other words. So if I go here into the Power BI workspace itself, so select here, and then you notice that this workspace, we have like 3 users left, and then we share content. So if I go to my access, we have like multiple people who are sharing the account or sharing the workspace itself. So once we deliver to workspace, it's all managed within Power BI. We don't go by the username.
Okay, and then just a comment from Herb, or actually, I suppose it is a question, is when is InfoBurst going to support the interface to Facebook Metaverse?
Facebook, what?
Metaverse. This is the new rage now. You haven't heard about the Metaverse?
I've heard about it,
Yeah.
I
think they're hiring quite a few people to work on that project right now. But anyway, good presentation. So thank you, thank you very much. And I think we are seeing a trend of people, moving to Power BI and also keeping Tableau and Business Objects and having Power BI. So all 3. So what you showed there at the end was really quite interesting. That you could actually use InfoBurst to combine content from Tableau, Power BI, and Web Intelligence all together.
Right.
So that's kind of neat as well. And yeah, I mean, there's a comment there saying it's going to be quite expensive keeping Business Objects and paying for Power BI and InfoBurst. Actually, you'd be surprised because most people end up buying InfoBurst to save money. And they don't see it as an expense; they see it as a way to reduce it, because if you think about it, what you're trying to do is get the content out to as wide an audience as possible. And today, that usually means getting the content out in PDF or Excel, and not having those people having to log in to expensive BI tools in order to get the content. And so publishing has actually been on the rise as companies use it as a way to save on cost. And so, you don't have to have so many people connected live to the expensive BI tools in order to get the information that they're looking for. So anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be quite expensive to do the other things as well, like to convert things into the Power BI world. That also needs to be taken into consideration. Okay.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to take operational reports and tabular-like reports and convert them to tools like Power BI or Tableau, for that matter. And we don't see too many customers doing that, or they attempt to do it and realize that it's a bottomless pit.
Right.
Right. So they tend to keep both products. They keep the business objects for reporting, and they use the Power BI or Tableau for their other BI self-service needs. So, cool, good. Well, thank you so much. We'll hand back over to Lucy. Thanks again, Rajesh.